Welcome to the Monday edition of Off the Wire Daily. I am your host, Noella Lynn, aka the Cajun Libertarian. I hope you had an absolutely fantastic weekend, as did I. Looking forward to the week coming up. I hope it serves all of you well. Before we get started, this episode is brought to you by @_Infinite Zeal. That's @_Infinite Zeal and at the Lunatic Libertarian. So go to Twitter and follow @_Infinite Zeal. Please check out the link in his bio and subscribe to the Lunatic Libertarians podcast on YouTube and follow him on Facebook. Please, and thank you. And thank both of y'all very, very much for sponsoring the show. I cannot tell you how much it helps out. Outstanding. So they're helping me out. Let's help them out and go give them the follows and the views. Por favor. Now, what is the topic du jour? Well, we got a couple of them. White House is enforcing a mask mandate and social distancing for quote unquote unvaccinated or not fully vaccinated. And if you've watched the show for any length of time, you do know why I put that in quotes, right? And also, California bill will classify not affirming child's gender as child abuse. This is getting wildly out of control. Before we get to that, please like the show, share it with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, basically anywhere you get your podcast, and leave me a 5-star review, please, and thank you. Your pushing the show out helps tremendously, especially, like half my accounts and definitely most of where the show broadcasts to is definitely shadow banned. They absolutely throttle my reach. And so the best way to skirt that is for you to share it and just tell people about it. Word of mouth. Still fantastic. I like this clip because of the explanation why and just the pure honesty of it. This is Gene Simmons from the band Kiss. And so not that we really care about a celebrity's opinion on anything whatsoever at all ever, but let me just let you watch it. Just watch it. You'll understand exactly what I mean when I say I like this clip.
Who's going to win the American election? Give me a name.
Donald Trump.
Wow.
So
Wow.
We can ignore all the cases. We can ignore the indictments. We can ignore the sexual assaults. We can ignore the fact he's going to potentially be.
He wasn't making a judgment. He just said he thinks he's going to win.
I'm not even saying that I'm for it, but I will tell you, if I was Mr. Trump, and Mr. Biden, I think, is an ethical man, and so on. I call both Mr. Out of respect. Somebody is going to run a 30-second sizzle reel showing Mr. Biden falling down.
Totally agree. Who's going to?
He's absolutely correct, right? Now, completely disagree. He's 100% wrong on Biden being ethical. That's out of the window. But a very honest and straightforward answer. He said, I'm not even saying that I'm for it now. And notice he didn't say he was against it. Just needed to point that out. But he said, I'm not even for it. I'm just saying. Somebody on Trump's team is literally going to just throw out reel after reel after reel after reel after reel of this guy being completely incompetent and polluted with dementia. And it's going to resonate. Like, most Americans are turned off by this already at this point, even if they don't like Trump. Now, there are better options than both, I promise you. We don't know who's running for the Libertarian Party yet, but, they're more than likely going to be better than either one of those candidates running. But he's absolutely correct. I just like the fact that he's principled. He's like, it's democracy, Paula. It's democracy. Obviously we're supposed to be a constitutional republic, but principled, right? Hey, you can talk about all that stuff all you want, but if the American people vote that guy in, then that is how the process is supposed to work. And just the absolute honesty there, you can't get around the fact that Biden is like just about dying before our eyes. It's wild. All right, now let's get to this. Let's get to this real quick. This is from the Daily Wire. It's from June 10th. So literally yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. The White House is enforcing a mask mandate and social distancing guidelines for visitors who are unvaccinated or not fully vaccinated, and email shows. Lawmakers invited to attend quote-unquote college athlete day, where athletes from championship collegiate teams get to visit the White House. We're told to mask up for the event if they are not vaccinated. All of those in scare quotes, according to an email obtained by Fox News. Quote, masking guidance. Fully vaccinated guests are not required to wear a mask on the White House grounds, end quote. The email from the White House official of legislative affairs said originally, Quote, guests who are not fully vaccinated must wear a mask at all times and maintain at least 6 feet of distance from others while on the White House grounds. COVID tests will not be required for entry to the event, which will take place on Monday. It will feature teams from all over the country. These people aren't going to give up, despite all of this being debunked and completely useless. And in some cases, a lot of cases, makes things worse by an exponential margin. They're never going to give up because these people are sick, power-hungry cultists, period. I mean, how many times have we... Listen, I'm just going to pick out one for the sake of not getting in any more trouble than I already am with the censorship. The 6 feet rule has been debunked over and over and over and over again. It's quite remarkable, but you should not be surprised. They're not going to give up. And make no mistake that, and this might happen during the 2024 presidential campaign or right before it, something else is going to happen, and they're going to want to lock everything down again. If not during, it won't happen. It won't take very long. Will not be very much long after the 2024 election. But something tells me, I can't really point to anything substantial. It's just a gut feeling that something's going to happen prior to the next presidential run. And I'll show you how sick and twisted these people are. And I believe there's even a clip of Gene Simmons right there in this reel I'm about to show you right now, how sick and perverse and anti-scientific, tyrannical, and absolute. Some of these people are just obviously morons with the IQ of a bullfrog. My apologies to the bullfrog. Let's watch the clip.
Not getting vaccines, it's time to start shaming them.
Because frankly, we know that we can't trust the unvaccinated.
F them, their freedom. I want my freedom to live.
No, screw your freedom. You're a schmuck for not wearing a mask.
We have to stop coddling the morons who will not get the shot.
Shame on you.
No mask, get out!
Put on your mask or get off.
So no, there was no Gene Simmons one in that clip. I've played it before, and I've saved that one. I will continue to play it because under no circumstances ever can we allow anything that even resembles 2020 again. Ever, ever. No, will not comply. Now, I know that's a big jump from them re-implementing the mask mandates and the 6-foot rule at the White House for athletes, but it always bears repeating. Under zero circumstances can we ever even consider anything that resembles that process again. All right. Now let's watch one of your or let's do a segment of one of your favorite news segments, an episode of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America, as we were just talking about with the Gene Simmons clip. He's just gone. He's gone. I've played this before, but I'll continue to play it because it's just so alarming.
If they have to pay out $159 billion less.
Go ahead, you got it.
Go ahead. You got it. It's remarkable. And that's what you'll see from the Trump team, DeSantis. I guess it's probably going to be Trump. Let's be realistic, right? He's probably going to win the nomination. But for whoever wins the GOP nomination, whoever wins the Libertarian nomination as well, clip after clip after clip after clip, bury this guy, metaphorically speaking, with absolute derision. Deride him out of the White House with clips like this. And him falling down at the Air Force graduation, falling up the stairs to Air Force One. There's endless amounts of content. All right, let's move on to some more tyranny. Like, this is just makes me sick to my stomach. California bill would classify not affirming child's gender as child abuse. This is from June 9th, dailysignal.com. A recently amended California bill would add, quote unquote, affirming the sexual transition of a child to the state's standard for parental responsibility and child welfare. I'm going to give you a lot of information here. It's not a lot of reading. It's very short. It's like a half a page. But within this half a page is packed. So if you're in Cali, you're going to have to, man, for one, get out of California. My goodness, how can you stay there anymore? It's completely out of control. Like, you are not, you are an enemy of the state if you resemble anything whatsoever that promotes individual liberty at all. You are in very dangerous waters in that state. But if you are in there, you need to call your legislators and you need to get this axed immediately. This is extraordinarily dangerous. The bill is called AB 957. AB Alpha Bravo 957. Making any parent who doesn't affirm transgenderism for their child guilty of abuse under California state law. AB Alpha Bravo 957 passed California's state assembly. So it's already passed the state assembly. That was on May 3rd. But a co-sponsor amended it after hours in California's state senate on June 6th. Originally, AB 957 required courts to consider whether a child's parents were quote-unquote gender affirming in custody cases. Weiner's amendment completely rewrites California's standard for child care. AB 957 post-amendment, quote, would include a parent's affirmation of the child's gender identity as part of the health, safety, and welfare of the child, end quote, altering the definition and application application of the entire California Family Code. California courts would be given complete authority under Section 3011, that's Section 3011 of California's Family Code, to remove a child from his or her parent's home if parents disapprove of the LGBTQIA2 plus mafia ideology. By changing the definition of what constitutes the, quote, health, safety, and welfare of a child, end quote, schools, churches, hospitals, and other organizations interacting with children would be required to affirm, quote, unquote, gender transitions in minors by default or risk charges of child abuse. Because of the addition of, quote, unquote, gender affirmation to the qualifications of California's standards for, quote, unquote, health, safety, and welfare, California's courts would now be able to accept reports. Listen to this. California's courts would now be able to accept reports of gender, quote unquote, abuse from progressive activist organizations, as long as they can claim to provide, quote, services to victims of sexual assault or domestic violence, end quote. In essence, a boy could report his parents to his local school's Gay Straight Alliance Club or other LGBTQIA2 plus mafia organizations, who could then report the boy's parent for child abuse. Parents. Incredibly, the bill provides no definition whatsoever of what would qualify as non-confirming to a child's gender. This is awful. This is beyond the pale. Get out of California, and in any state you're in, get your kids out of schools immediately. Sacrifices have to be made. Yes, I understand that. We make them. We live poorer so that we can homeschool, so that my wife does not have to work full time. The only reason she's even working part-time is because of inflation. Because I saw the energy costs going through the roof last summer. And I knew that when winter hit, because this house doesn't have any insulation. We rent this house. We're about to move, actually. It doesn't have any insulation, and we're covered by trees. So in the summer, it's a lot cooler. The electric bill is down. In the winter, it's a lot colder. And there's no insulation, so the electric bill is up. That's the only reason she even works part-time. Otherwise, she'd be a stay-at-home mom the whole time, which she was for almost 3 years, until inflation just punched everybody in the mouth, right? Sacrifices have to be made. Get your kids out of school. This is what's running the risk. What risk you are running, should I say. This is nightmarishly bad. And if you're in California, you got to fight against it. You have to do something. You got to stand up. For one, share this video with your friends and family. AB 957. Protest. Do whatever you have to do before these people come in and kidnap your kids from you. I don't know what to tell you because it's getting thick. This is getting very, very hot and very fast. And so to avoid any other, escalation, you're going to have to get out, and you're going to have to stop this if you're not going to get out. And don't move to a freaking blue state. They're going to do this everywhere. Promise you. Every blue state is going to do this. Blue cities are going to do this. You got to get out. Period. And this is so unbelievably dangerous and out of control. They will literally come for your kids. We've been saying it metaphorically about the mafia coming after your children, literally making songs about how they're going to indoctrinate them and get them. Now this has moved beyond the metaphorical into the literal. They're coming for your kids. Fix it. Get out. Get your kids out of school. Man, oh man. All right, let's end on a funny note. Watch how this is so funny because this is where the left just continues to eat itself. It's hilarious to watch in real time. And Republicans, you guys got to wake up and do something. You got to start actually governing like the libertarians that you campaign as. Otherwise, you're going to keep losing to this ideology right here that continues to eat itself, and they're still beating you. It's amazing. Govern like libertarians. See Ron Paul.
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, you know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying
there's more jobs to be
in LA, they always,
but they Latinos are not only the only people
I didn't mean it like that. Come on. No, I would never mean it like that.
No, you meant it like that. You said it just like that. Who's going to clean your toilets? That's what you meant it as. These people have lost their minds. And yet, Republicans are still losing. Don't get me wrong. There's a part of me that's quite happy about that because they're awful. They're awful. But there's a clear distinction in 2023 between who's awful and who is evil. Period. Quit being awful. Make better decisions. If you're a conservative, vote in better Republicans. Period. So far, I really like Matt Gaetz, who I could not stand before. I can't get over the fact that he looks like a supervillain, but he's doing some good things. Vote in more people like that if you're going to vote conservative, or do the right thing and stop voting in Republicans and Democrats because they've driven the country into the ground for a century. Make better decisions all the way around. All right. Love y'all. We're going to leave it right there. I'll see you tomorrow. Same Cajun time, same Cajun channel. Galatians 2:20, and I am out.